You know, what October 7th, the disgusting, despicable evil of the Arab Islamist animals. Animals would never behave in this sick, sadistic way that they did. What it really teaches us, I mean, this wasn't the first time in history that this happened. It happened recently in ISIS, doing that to quote unquote fellow Muslims. And what's important to remember, if they could, they would do this to the entire Western population. This is not against Israel for land. Um, this is an Islamic mechanism which they've been doing for thousands of years, or at least 1,400 years since Islam was created. And so, I remember I asked once a smart Muslim from Pakistan, how come the Arabs, are anti-Israel? He said, listen, in the Quran, Muhammad literally did just as bad. He burnt the, I guess it was date trees. It was a very important source of nourishment of Jewish people. I think it was called Karaisa. This is documented. He murdered the men. He raped the women as the men were being murdered, and then he kind of quote unquote took them as wives, which is another way of saying that he kidnapped them and he forced them to be his sex slaves, which is about as evil as it gets. And so this is the demonstration of the role model of Islam. And Islam never can have peace with the West, even though there are many good Muslims. And we shouldn't condemn them all because many of them don't follow the jihadist doctrine. But enough of them do. At least 50 million, at the lowest number, I think it's closer to 700 million, are what we call Salafists. They believe to do exactly what Muhammad did, to use coercion. As one great rabbi and philosopher and doctor said, that the only thing that Islam really invented was using coercion. Islam actually means to submit, to get their way. I mean, Judaism taught about one God, and Christianity spread that to the Gentiles. But ostensibly, certainly if you read the New Testament, is not to be done through bloodshed. But Islam is to be done through bloodshed. And of course, there'll be Muslims that will comment, oh no, we're peaceful, but that's a lie. How did Islam spread? What is it doing? And just Google, anyone fact check this, the law of jihad, and tell me what you come up with. And that comes from Islamic sources, not Jewish sources. So the point of this video is to say that there is good and evil in all of us. And the main way you can tell the difference between good and evil is, how do you spread your light? Because everybody believes that they're light. Nobody believes that they're darkness. Even Hitler believed that he was light. But if the means you're using are killing people, are demeaning people, then you're darkness. And it's very important to understand that the American people got duped. Obama actually used the mechanism of darkness to spread his ideology. I don't care what the ideology is, even if he's right. Fact is, the only reason Trump became president, and you can look this up as well, is because he literally disgustingly invited him to a White House dinner, and then for 10 minutes went on insulting him and berating him and demeaning him. Now, I mean, if you think that's funny and many people are laughing, it's not funny, because how would you feel if somebody, the President of the United States, demeans you after he invites you to a dinner? So we're talking about the style of sadism. Obama, commented, as all sadists quite, proudly, oh, I didn't know I would be so good at killing. He ordered the death of thousands of people through CIA drone strikes, never mind through his hand. At least 500,000 people in Syria died. He empowered ISIS. I mean, it's just unbelievable the amount of people that he murdered, and so many people respect him because they don't understand that the dead giveaway of evil is the mechanism. Are you busy demeaning people? Are you controlling them? Are you trying to use force, or are you trying to inspire them, trying to encourage them? And you say, you're great, and this is a good behavior. So let us be very careful, because we need to be on the side of goodness. And in conclusion, the Baal Shem Tov says that in heaven there are two chambers. The chamber of Schus, where they can find a remediating factor for anybody, even the most wicked person, say maybe it was a child or this and that. And then there's a chamber of din, of judgment, where they can find something wrong with even the greatest saint. But if you want to know, are you part of saintliness or evil, you have to ask yourself a question. Am I part of judgmentalism, or am I part of love and encouragement?